no. Now you should be able to hear me. My apologies. Helps if I check my audio levels. It's too hot. Now you should be able to hear me. Can you hear me? Either way, we're gonna continue. only mostly kidding. So obviously we have the so I should, I'm gonna go into how this works, because I don't want you all to look at this and be like, what the heck's going on? What is he doing? Why is he doing it this way? So JavaFX doesn't really have a way for you to directly pass what you're, what's in other properties, directly pass any kind of data to separated handlers. Unless you do inline handlers, you can't really do it. And I didn't want to do inline handlers because I don't like the way that looks. It doesn't look good to my eyes, so I wanted to have separated handlers. And so essentially what I do is to pass on data, anytime I set listeners, like this change listener. This change listener, anytime a certain property changes, you create a new set on action. Like, okay, so you set the action of the button, right? And you update the handler for that button to include the data every time specific properties change. In this case, if either the one-line or multi-line radio buttons are selected, you update the button choose with what's selected. And that's clear in the comments here, but I do that globally, all over the place. And that's how I work. That's how I get the separated handlers to work in this JavaFX environment, which doesn't, cotton to that very well. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I wanted to make clear that's what's happening here. That's why there's this itemized constructor. Anyway, so in the handle method, if the one line option is selected, you build a new stage called one line stage, and then you set the primary. You make a scene for that one line stage, and then it sets up the one line handler. So let's go to the setup one line handler method. Essentially, you make everything that needs to be in there, and then there's the dice text format. And in the same way as the radio buttons are sensed and update their relevant buttons, the typing in the one line role field updates the buttons. Why do I set... Oh, I set on action and then set on key press, so if you want to... If you've tabbed over to button roll and then you hit enter. Okay, that makes sense. I forgot why I did that. And then we add the relevant labels and the relevant inputs and the roll button, and then you I wire it to do a roll for safety here, even though anytime the user, this is just in case, this line is literally just in case the user types nothing and then hits the button. They're gonna get an error, but it'll work. It'll show the right stage and all that. Why do I set? Oh yeah, I set on key pressed again, like up here, and then we set the scene. We make a new scene, right, out of all the things we've put into this window, and then we return that scene back up here, and then we use the stage we just made, the scene we just made here. We set the scene to the scene we've just made with the setup one line handler, and then show the menu window. Now I want to put a to-do comment here. To-do, close the current window, because that's something my beta testers got to me about, like, hey, I don't need this selected window after I've picked what kind of dice I want to use. Close the current window. And those are mostly for my benefit. Now let's go through here. Let's see what else. In the multi-line handler, it's much the same. We set it so that anytime the dice to roll or sides on dice, how many dice you want to roll, when you type how many dice you want to roll or how many sides you want the dice to have, I want that data to get to the handler that handles all that. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if you learned a little bit of this in school. I would consider this college level programming, just because I did it in college. It's not professional level programming, but I'm trying to step it up to that level. Anyway, you update the thing that reacts to the button every time somebody types, and it works very much the same way as the single line handler. Just both of the lines update things now. There's not really any errors to update here. There's nothing to throw, so we'll move on from here. Show correct input handler. We already looked through main, or this isn't technically main. This is start. Well, it is main. It's in the main package, and it's got main right here. It is main. We already looked through main. Let's look through the roll handler key, because this one's really simple. In much the same way as all the other handlers, it gets data from being, reconstructed. Essentially, the short version of what happens here, it's in the comments here. Basically, if they press if the key event, the key they pressed was enter, then if they press the enter key and the number of dice is a specific value that I've made sure is that value when the one line type in window is shown on screen, then we know that we need to handle the one line, like as if someone has clicked on the button to roll the dice with the one line input. Otherwise, we roll with 2 lines of input. And since we don't really need to pass anything along with this action event, we just make a new action event, and we make the new one-line roll handler, and we tell it to handle a new action event. If we ever need to pass something along, I'll make a more specific action event, but I don't think we need to. So that's the roll handler key. It's drop dead simple. Essentially, all it does is call the correct handler. The one-line and multi-line roll handlers are where things get fun. So, what do we do here? First of all, we initialize all the pieces that are on screen. And then we have 4 numbers. The number of dice, the number of... get out of here. The number of dice, the number of faces, the bonus you're applying to this dice roll, and the total of how much you've rolled. So, then we make an array of 3 integers called dice deets. And essentially, int space 0 is num dice, int space 1 is num face, and int space 2 is bonus. And I'm not going to leave those comments in there because it's explained in the Java doc for this, the documentation for this utility parse one-line input. So let's head over there. Let's go to utility and look at parse one-line input. Just to make clear what's going on here. Also, I'm going to make clear what I'm doing now and then not again. If you really want to know what's going on after this, after the explanation I'm giving, you can look at the Java doc if you're that interested. It's not that hard to read. I don't know that I've posted it anywhere. That's a problem, but oh well. Essentially, we build an array that's equivalent in size and shape to dice deets. And then we say our input is the dice text that this method was handed. And then we work with the number of dice and faces and bonus as a string because you're getting it from this string here. Is it already time to flip the tape? Hang on. It's already time to flip the tape? Are you for real right now? Jeez, I talk too much. We may work our way down the stack of tapes. If you're curious what tape I'm listening to, it's an Eagles album. It's The Long Run. Anyway, so we've already handled the error working, you know, the way the errors are handled here, but I'm going to go into how this works and why this works. If the so this is a really simple test. This if statement here is a really simple test to see if your dice amount and roll is in standard format. You know, it may not always contain a +1 or a -1 or anything, but it will, provided it's in standard format, always contain a lowercase d or an uppercase d. And if it doesn't contain those, then we throw a new number format exception because it's not in the right format and it's made of numbers. Could I have in theory made my own exception called like dice format exception or something that was a little more elucidative? Yes, but I'm leaning on the fact that you can give your own strings in the constructor for the format exceptions. You know, you can give your own strings in the constructor for an exception to make it clearer. Anyway, then we normalize our input so it works with a lowercase d, so I don't have to do d or d a billion times. And then we make an array of strings out of it splits on the lowercase d, which we now know it contains because of this input.toLowercase. So essentially, we start with 1d20, and then in this array, space 0 should be 1, and space 1 should be 20, and then plus or minus a bonus. We're going to include a bonus here to make things a little clearer. And then space 1 is 20 plus 1. So we know that. So now that we know that, so now we set the number of dice to 1, because we know what that is. And then we take the 20 plus 1, and we reuse our array from above. So now, after this split, dice details 0 is equal to 20, and dice details 1 is equal to 1 in this case, because it essentially splits it where there's a plus or a minus. And since we know that space 0 is now the number of faces, we set the number of faces to that. And then this is another really simple test to see if it contains a bonus. If the dice details has a second space, then it has a bonus, and we assign the bonus. If it doesn't, we don't do anything. We just let the empty space in the array just live its life. So, I'll be a heartache tonight, heartache tonight, I know. I'm going to randomly break in a song this whole stream, I hope you know. Oh no, it's math? It's actually not math yet. It's... What's the word? It's literature? It's chopping up words. It's additive poetry, I guess. It's not as much math as you think, babe. Don't worry. Obviously, and then since we know, since we have the number of dice, the number of faces, and the bonus all sorted out, we can say, alright, the number of dice is the inputted number of dice, just in a format that makes sense to things that need to use it for math. And in the same way, we do that with number of faces. If there's no bonus, then the bonus is 0. So we return the bonus as 0. And otherwise, the bonus is whatever the user inputted the bonus to be. Doodle. You don't actually need... This is a code cleanliness thing. This is just a poor format on my case, but I need it to read this. You don't necessarily need these brackets here for one-line response, one-line responses to if-elses, but I like to have them there so it reads better to me. Like, if I see this, it doesn't read as well to me. And, like, additionally, to double put myself on blast, normally you wouldn't even have this first bracket on the same line, but I need to have it on the same line. It's a bad habit I got into when I was writing in C++ in high school, but I need it. And, unless you're printing out your code or you're on some kind of line economy budget in a professional setting, it's not that big a deal. And if it really is that big a deal, there's auto format, functions that you can get for your compiler. It's not that big a deal. So anyway, that's how we figure out what the user, how many dice the user wants to roll, and what dice they're rolling from 1d20. So then we go and get that. And then if they're trying to roll 0 or less than 0 dice, or the dice has negative faces or is 0. What is Eclipse downloading over there? Whatever, it's not that big a deal. And oh, wait, did a host go off? Hang on, just a second. A host did go off. Thank you. Thanks, babe. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh yeah, if they're trying to roll negative amounts of dice, we throw a new number format exception, and this is part of what we're doing here. We need to make this more clear. The user tried to roll negative dice at get current timestamp. Utility.get current timestamp. And to get a little 101 on you all, we can say get current timestamp over here because it's a method in here, but otherwise we have to specify that it's from utility, because what if I were to make a method in this function called get current timestamp? Then you would have to specify I want the one from here by not putting this dot thing in the front, or I want the one from utility. And then for how many dice there are, roll the dice. Essentially, essentially all this does, like, it's clear in the comments here. Pick a number between 1 and the number of dice faces each dice has at random, and then put the number in a list, and then it just blah 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 blah. As the comment says here, at some point we're going to change this later, such that it, instead of displaying this list directly, it's going to use this list to make, it's going to give you pictures of dice, and I spent altogether too long taking good pictures of dice, and we'll be editing them eventually. Not right now, not tonight, probably. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, darling. You're good. You're good, GIF. Anyway, your total is, and then, after we spit out the list of dice, we say, hey, your total is, and then we check if their bonus is a negative bonus, then you subtract the bonus from their total. If it's a positive bonus, then you add the bonus to their total. Otherwise, you just toss the total at the bottom next to this your total is line here. And then we set the text for the results to the list of numbers we just spat out, and then we make a new window. Well, we make a new insides of a window with essentially just the results text and a couple other small things, which is going to change. The amount of small things is going to change when we add a scrolly bar, and then we say, hey, the window you're about to show, the insides are the insides we just made, and then we make the inside, and then we, what do we do? We say, show the window we just built. At some point, we're going to add file-based logging here. I'm going to put that here, actually, to do file-based logging. First of all, if they throw in, if somewhere there's a problem with the numbers they've put in, we close the amount of dice they're rolling. We immediately close the total stage so they don't get like weird gobbledygook on screen. And then we, instead of making the results the list of numbers like it was earlier, we change it right now to this string, which is going to change. And then we show them the message that showed up on screen. And we're going to change that. Instead of making it this, we're going to say, get the message that came along with this number format exception and show it to the user. Maybe we'll make this a little more friendly to the average user's eye. I don't know. We'll see. And we're going to have to test this by, it's pretty easy to test. But anyway, then we make a new window insides, and then we set the insides to the scene to the window we're about to pull up, and then it pulls up the window and shows the thing we just told it to show you. So we're going to, now that we've done that, we're going to go look at the multi-line roll handler and see if there's any improvements to be made. So, what was I saying? The multi-line roll handler works in a really similar way to the one-line roll handler, except the parsing is super simple because you literally are handed the number of dice and the number of faces directly from the user. So it's supremely easy. So we'll go look at multi-line input. Like the parsing of the multi-line input, but it's literally drop dead simple. It's like 5 lines. Yeah, it's just get the things from the user and make them numbers, and that's everything from utility for now. We're gonna leave it open though. Anyway, so potentially this method here can throw a number format exception, because what if they didn't write real numbers? Then it goes, oh, those aren't real numbers, and it shouts. And then we set the number of dice and the number of faces to the things we just got from this method here. We set the number of dice and number of faces to what we got from the user. If they're trying to roll negative dice, we need to say that. In fact, we're going to make this a constant. We're going to cut this out of here, and we're going to say in utility, we're going to say public static string. We got to do something clever. Negative dice error is what we show when the dice are negative, since that's a bad. So then we say utility dot negative dice error. Is there any other things we need to change in here since we're making constants? No. So now we say if they roll a negative dice, we're gonna say utility. I spelled that wrong. Negative dice error and then current time. I'm gonna host it with a voice and a man who's no soon out of waste. And the Greeks don't want no freaks. And the burning style and the freaks. Greeks don't want no freaks. We might change this to negative dice error message, but it's fine. Anyway, so then we roll the number of dice with the number of faces they ask for, and then put the numbers that they rolled into a list. And then we show them their results. If there's a problem with their numbers, we used to say one of those numbers isn't a number that's on dice. Why do you gotta? But now we are going to say get message, because we've made our messages more informative. We may, depending on how grisly it looks when you put in something that's not a real number. Yeah, coding's really that informal. Like, especially if it's something you want to show the user, you can just kind of say sentences. Depending on how bad it looks when you enter something that's literally not a number rather than a negative number, we might throw some kind of arcane magic in here that's like is instance of, if E is an instance of, oh shoot, that's a problem because integers throw number format exceptions. Shoot. Ooh, I know what I can do. But we'll come back to that. We'll see how bad it looks first before we have to change anything. So now it's time to test, because we've improved all the messages, and we're gonna actually I'm gonna test and see if this works first, and then if it works, we're gonna push to GitHub. Okay, so let's test. We're gonna run the dice, and we'll see. Okay, we're going to try one-line dice first. So, can you guys see this? No, you can't. If I close this window, then you can see me typing. Okay. And then we're going to say negative 1 d20 to get the negative number error first. We're going to roll the dice, and then it says the user, you can't see it. Shoot. I don't know how to capture multiple windows of the same type. It's amazing. I'm managing to understand none of this. But see how I inputted a negative number there? It says on my screen, I don't know that I can make you guys see it. It says on my screen, the user tried to roll a negative dice at... Ooh, I might format that the other way around. Put the time first and then the date. And we also might make that a little more user-friendly. Okay, so now we know the negative dice roll works. So instead of negative d20, let's say sd20, and it's not going to know that's not a number, so it's going to say something different. For input string s. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So if you put in a thing that's literally not a number, it says for input string s. I'm going to show you, actually. Can you guys see it? Yes, you can see it. It literally just says for input string s. So I don't like that, but it works. And since it works, we're going to make an initial commit to GitHub, which is like the thing that's online so you can see my code. So we're going to so then we're going to say to GitHub, what are we going to say to GitHub? We got to come up with something clever. Improved error handling. This is just an initial commit. The error messages are more friendly to me, the programmer, but they don't make much sense to the user. So we'll be fixing that. And then we'll commit, and it'll think about it for a second, and then we will push this branch to GitHub. So now you all could go to GitHub, my GitHub, and go and see the thing we just made. After it's done pushing, I need to update GitHub. Okay, it's done pushing, so we're going to restart GitHub. What else? Okay, now what did I just say? Okay, that is what I just said. So now we need to make this more user readable. And how are we going to do that? That's a good question. So my immediate thought is, hey, hi, save, thank you. So my immediate thought is, we are throwing our own fancy exception here anyway. But there are things that will throw a normal, like, number format exception in role handlers. Where the heck are we getting the... Oh yeah, it's in here. So we can get a normal number format exception from the system here. And, you know, it can say, alright, those aren't numbers though. From here and there, here and here. And that's what gives us the thing for input string s, which is not really readable to the user. So what we're going to do, because I like our custom exception strings that we've used already, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a new package. And that's just a new, you know, section of code, essentially. We're going to go here, and we're going to say, ooh, that took a little bit. We're going to say a new package. And we're going to call it com.glacier.exceptions. And then we're going to say finish. And now we're going to make our own custom exception, which I was kind of trying to avoid with this, but I guess we're going to have to now to make it play nice. Is it already time for a new tape? Really? No, there's still songs, YouTuber. Just be patient. So now we're going to make a new exception. That'll let us fill the user in on more important things. And we're going to call this dice. We're going to call this negative dice exception. And we're going to make it so that it comes from number format exception. Ooh, it is time for a new tape. We're going to continue here in like 5 seconds. I just need to put a new tape in the tape deck. Because yes, I would love to share this music with you all, but copyright is a thing that exists in the world. Okay. We're just going to go right down the stack that I mentioned them in earlier. So we'll play Hotel California next. Expect a lot of singing with this one. Is this side A or side B? I can never keep them straight. Hang on. There we go. That's the right way up. I can never keep it straight in a Walkman like this. Play. Anyway, back to the programming. Provided my music starts. We'll give it a second to run through the runout to make sure. I don't hear anything. There we go. There's Hotel California. Good song. Anyway, so we're going to make our own custom exception. And we're just going to have this do things. And this is, I'll explain this after I'm done typing. I did that backwards. String message. Okay, so now I'm going to explain what I did here. So we're making our own fancy custom exception. What is this upset about? Oh, it needs an ID. It's fine. I don't quite know what this serial version ID is for. I never personally used them. Anyway, I bet they're just endlessly useful for people who care about that kind of thing, but I have yet to use it, so. Anyway, so what I did here was we made a new number format. We made, like, a number format exception's baby brother. And essentially what it does is you can hand it a message to pass on to wherever the heck it gets caught, or you can hand it a message to pass on, or you can hand it nothing. Either way, it doesn't need to do anything fancy. All it really needs to do is just do the same thing as number format exception. But we made this. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Living it up at the Hotel California. Those were the wrong words. One night in a year, they can find you here. Never dead. You got the Mercedes Benz. She got the she boys. She likes all friends. It would help if I knew the words. Anyway, we now know whether they entered a negative number or whether they entered a not actually a number. So, instead of throwing a number format exception, we're going to throw our fancy new exception, negative dice exception. Then we're going to, fill this in. It's like, what the heck's a negative dice exception? Well, this is what a negative dice exception is. That automatically did some things, but essentially it's just saying, hey, this is the thing I've made. Remember what it is. So we throw our new negative dice exception, and then in the number, then instead of catching, well, this still catches number format exception, right? Because the fancy exception we made is number format exception's little brother. So it will still get caught by this. It's like my little brother got into trouble, but for some reason they think I'm my little brother, so they will catch me too. Which could lead to some interesting trouble. Anyway, so now we can find out if what what's the word I'm looking for? They stab it with their stealing knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Anyway, what was I saying? I was going for the door. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by this music. Anyway, now we can say if E is an instance of, I think that's how we use this, is a negative dice exception class. I think that's how we use this. Ooh. That's not allowed? What do you mean? Maybe we just say negative dice exception. I haven't used instance of in like a billion years. That's how we use it. So then, now what this says is if they're actually trying to roll negative dice, then we can do one thing. Otherwise, do another thing. Either way, so we know we're going to close the way we were showing their numbers, first and foremost. And then we're going to do one of two things based on whether they're rolling negative dice or rolling not, or they've input not actual numbers. And that's what this line here is what's going to change. Either way, we are going to we're going to show the user the same, window and everything. This is a really good song. Gosh dang. If it's a negative dice exception, then we can just straight up and down show them the message that we've passed on, because we know what it looks like, we know it's good. Anyway, so we're going to say, this is going to get a little complicated, but I'll do my best to keep it understandable. Oh, is that my tape deck running out of batteries, or is that the tape warping? Okay, that sounds like my tape deck running out of batteries. That's really weird sound. I think this is my oh no, my tape deck's gonna run out of battery. Oh no. Oh no, we're all good. That's just the tape being a little warbly. It's okay. Anyway, so this is gonna get a little complicated. We're going to say that the message we're going to show the user is, we're going to start with the, okay, this is either a very badly damaged tape or my tape deck's running out of battery. It honestly might be both, given where I got this and the last time I changed the batteries in this thing. Either way, we're just going to let it go. So we're going to start with the message we get from our number format exception. Now, if you remember, the message we get from this looks like this. It's like blah, 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 blah. It's like blah, 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 blah. It says some things, and then it says there's a space, and then it says what they put in here. Bad input, and then it's period, and then it's a closing quote, right? So, my thought is, what we really need is to show them what their bad input was. And then we say something about it. So, we're just going to get that bad input like this. We're going to say substring, and that basically just makes it cuts one chunk of a string of like a piece of text out. Like there's a big piece of text and we want to make a smaller piece of text out of it. So we want to say the we want to say not E. We want to say get mess. We want to say out of the big message, look for the last time there is a space. That's where we start. And then we end where oh, this sounds terrible. I really hope this is my tape deck running out of batteries. So then we say, get the thing between the last space in the message and the last period in the message, in case they try to like roll, as an example. If they try to roll, let's say ASDF.A dice, then the message would look like from input string ASDF.A, right? So, or it would look something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. Oh my holy Hylia! The Vex situation. Alright. Critical Role spoilers right now. I will shout. I will make loud sound. I will be very obvious when the Critical Role spoilers end. So you can mute the stream right now if you care about Critical Role spoilers. Critical Role, episode 40, what, 44, 45? I don't remember. The one where they're underground in the Temple to the Raven Queen. Vex dies. Okay, is this my... What is happening to my tape over here? What's going on? What's wrong? This is driving me nuts. We're just gonna flip the tape and call it good. No, we're not allowed. Anyway, so Vex dies. Vex dies. which has me feeling all kinds of emotions. First and foremost, I'm like, no, don't, it's bad. And then, the cleric, who's played by Will Wheaton and whose name escapes me, he goes to cast Revivify, I think, on Vex. It's not working. Matt says, alright, one of you needs to sacrifice something. Percy puts down some anti-magic glass that he has. Fails again. Matt says, alright, somebody else needs to sacrifice something. The warlock, who's played by Felicia Day, whose name escapes me. Ooh, that bug just got caught in a spider web. Have fun. Anyway, the warlock rips the moonstone out of her staff, sets it down. Alright, this is another sacrifice. They try again. It doesn't work. Matt says, alright, somebody needs to make a sacrifice. Vax steps up and says... I'm sorry, my tape deck is making cursed image sounds right now. This tape is not in very good shape. Anyway, Vax steps up. Kasha is played by Will Friedle, not Wheaton. Oh! It sounded... Listen, they're both named Will, and it sounded like Wheaton. I made a guess. You put me on blast all you like, babe. Anyway, Vax steps up and says, Warlock is played by Mary Elizabeth. I am just completely missing the mark. I completely missed. I was like, oh yeah, it's probably Felicia Day, because this is a Geek and Sundry thing, right? Nah, completely wrong. Anyway, so Vax steps up and says, hey, take me instead. You know, but much cooler than that. And I'm flipping out. I'm like, no, nobody's dying. This is not okay. The spell finally works. Vax does not, in fact, die. Vex is brought back to life. My emotions have been stabbed in the gas station parking lot. So, you know, that's fun. I'm sorry, I can't listen to this tape anymore. It's too cursed. Anyway. Crit roll spoilers are over now. I can't listen to this tape. It was being too cursed. We're gonna put it in timeout for being cursed. Over there in the timeout pile you go. Am I in for a treat? Am I? I guess we're... You know what? We're listening to the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. I'm gonna save my Jimmy Jams for last. Anyway, Dirty Dancing soundtrack is going in the tape deck. Now where was I with my code here before I got distracted by crit roll? Hang on, is the tape going the right way? I think it's going the right way. Oh, nope, it's not going the right way. I'm dumb. It's going, in fact, the incorrect way. You goober. It's not like you've used tapes for forever as a small child. Anyway, code. So, I am in for such a treat. Oh boy. Anyway, code. Back to what we were talking about. So this, if I'm remembering how numbers work correctly, should get this here. Because it's looking for the last space and the last period. Listen, if they try to input like AS space DFA, then they're gonna get anything after the last space. It's fine. I don't mind. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to say when I'm with you. Don't put me on display, 'cause you don't own me. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we should be getting this roughly the thing that the user inputted. So now we can say, seems like the thing you've inputted isn't a number. Try again. Okay, so now baby, you know you can't message me while I'm streaming. I never get to look at them. Oh yeah? Is that the face you were making, darling? Is it? Anyway, let's see if our minor arcana of using instance of here worked. We're gonna run the thing. No, don't. Oh my goodness, don't do that. Run this as a Java program, please. Go out with you and don't put me on display. Don't. Okay, we'll run this. It's thinking, yes, use dice. So we're going to run the dice. We're going to say one line handler because we've... $1D. So first of all, negative 1D20. This should say our fancy negative message. Yep. It says our fancy negative message. So what I should do, what I might do later when we are doing file-based logging is have this be the file-based log. This here, oh wait, you guys can't see it. This be the file-based log, what goes in the file for me to look at. And I might have it, I might have a special character in the middle that I know will not show up. Like, I don't know, F12 or some funky Unicode thing that I don't want anybody to type in. I don't know. It kind of defeats the purpose of, you know, being Mr. Devs think of everything when I'm telling you the escape character I'm going to use. But, you know, at some point, you know, we might make the tried to roll negative dice message a little nicer. But for now, they get this sterile message. So then now we have to run this again so you guys can see what's happening. And then we're going to input on one line. And then we're going to put ASDF dot A D. Oh shoot, that's a D. Oh no! Oh, I'm a dingus. We're going to do last. Oh, can I do that? Can I say the last D? Oh, this could break everything. Wait, no. Either way, it's going to throw the number format acceptance. Fine. ASDF dot A D20. Either. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. I got some stuff on my end. What's this? Accepted in thread JavaFX application starts string out of bounds exception. Where? Oh, here, our minor arcana. So it did work. I miscalculated a tad. Be my girl, hey, baby. Okay, so my cleverness did not entirely work as I intended it to, but we can fix this. So we're gonna put in some code that will make S out. We're gonna put in some code that will make me see what. So we know how to chop up the message, right? So we're gonna no, not that, you goober. There we go. Run this. There we go. So we'll enter line. Oh, I didn't mean to resize that there we go. I didn't mean to resize the window. I'm gonna close this and open it again. ASDF.A D20. And what's the message look like? No. For input string AS. Oh, it doesn't include a period? Oh, no. Okay, I can do this. So if you look at this is the message we got, and that's easier to work with. That's much, much easier to work with. We just need to say, instead of all this minor arcana, instead of looking for the last space and the last period, we can just look for the first and last quote. I'll explain why I need to have this backslash here in a second. Go alone. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we need to put this backslash here because the quotes are what let you put, chunks of text. So it needs to know, there needs to be a way for the program to know, okay, I mean a literal, quote as a piece of text. So we put this backslash in front of it. It's called escaping the character. I can't believe I missed the mark so badly on both Kasha and the Warlock. Just destroyed. So now this should work a little better. We're gonna say we're gonna run the dice. We're gonna pick on one line, and then we're gonna put ASFC.F D20 just so we can get the full spiel. And then we're gonna roll the dice, and we get what we wanted, right? Y'all see that? We get, 90% of what we wanted. We don't need that opening quote there. There's a bug. Oh, hello. Begone! Sorry, there was an orange ladybug and it needed to get squished. Anyway, so see, our magic works. Now, when it's not a real number, we can say to the user, hey, try inputting some real numbers, you goober. There's one more thing that I forgot to remember that this does. When you're looking for the first instance of something, you have to include the length of what you're looking for. So to not have an opening quote and not a close quote in our error message, then we just put +1 there and it works. So now that we know this, it's much, much easier to implement this thing in love is strange. Anyway, this is because we've done all the hard work in one-line role handler, then we can say in the multi-line role handler, we can just copy and paste this, right? Because it's doing the same thing. So we've made it more user-readable immediately. The only thing we need to the only other change we need to make is make this say negative dice. And then now both the multi-line and single-line role handlers output something that's a little more palatable to the user, which is good. We should probably make sure, just in case. So we'll do that. Oh, I didn't mean to run that. Gosh dang it. Why? I mean run the main, you dingaloid. Run the main. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to try inputting on multiple lines. So first of all, -1 D20. Roll the dice. We get the negative dice message. Good. You're going to have to take my word on it because I don't want to close this and open it the whole spiel again. So then let's try ASDF. Ooh, actually, yeah, let's try negative ASDF.D and see what comes up. Oh, hey, it's this song. Only lover boy. And if he just doesn't answer. And if he still doesn't answer. Anyway, I think I'm funny. So our weird minor arcana didn't work, which is, I lied. I know why. But because after we do all the minor arcana, it just sets it to the not nice to read message anyway. So we just remove that, and it works. You know, it's worth double checking. Anyway, multiple dice. ASDF.F D20, and it says, seems like ASDF.F isn't a number. Try again. There we go. So, I think, I would say, personally, that I did a Discord message because Twitch chat is super slow and doesn't have the emotes I want, and I didn't expect you to read it right then. Fine. Are you tonight? You're just sending me emotes on Discord, aren't you, darling? Let me see what those are while we're thinking. So I think that's the only, errors that are allowed to be thrown in here. We've made double sure. So that's the improved error handling. Check. Anyway, that's improved error handling. So we're going to, since we need to keep GitHub in the loop as far as changes we've made. So we're going to commit our changes that make the messages more user readable error messages. Some minor changes to the way errors are handled in order to make the user causing problems at least a little less intimidated. And then we commit, and then we push. So now GitHub's been caught up. So anyway, now that we've gotten the error handling out of the way, let's get to something the beta testers, both Hey It's Aspen and my players, asked of me. We need a scroll bar on the result text, because if you roll a lot of dice at once, it kind of scrolls off the screen and you gotta resize the window and it's a pain. I have no idea how to do this. I've worked with JavaFX, but I don't quite know how to do it. So it's time to hang on. Wait, no, I lied. We're gonna do the small thing first. We're gonna do the close the input choosing window. So on how did I do this? Oh, okay. So we gotta go to where do I gotta go? Where did I put this? Oh yeah. Where are you tonight? Ooh, I don't like what I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do to this to have it close the current window. Oh shucks. I am gonna have to do that. Alright, I don't like having to do this. This is a pain. But we're gonna do this just because I don't know how else to do it. We're going to say that each of the handlers now get a essentially a way to close the window. Shoot. I started too low, dang it. You're still of the night. I held you tight. Thank you so. Let you go in the still of the night, in the still of the night. Remember, I lay down above. In the still of the night, in the still of the night. Where the heck did I put this to-do comment? Oh, there it is. Okay, so here. This is much less work. I was thinking I was gonna have to like put it in all the handlers. No, it's much easier. It's just this one handler because we're showing the correct input. To close. So we're giving this a new item called to close that gets updated along with the one-line status and the multi-line status. This dot to close equals to close. In the still of the night, So it's pretty easy from this end. We just say, close the thing you need to close, dude. It's no big deal. But from dice, now this is confused. It's like, what the heck? What do you mean? There's nothing that just takes these two booleans, man. I don't know what you're talking about. You need to hand it something else. We go, okay. And we say primary stage. And we hand it the thing it wants. Because a fussy compiler is no fun. So we hand it the thing it wants, then we see what else it's yelling about, and we find out that it's the same thing as before, and it's fine. And then we say primary stage. So now, in theory, what should happen is when we pick a input method, it immediately closes the thing that we've that lets us select an input method. Because you only really need to pick an input method once. In theory, that's what should happen. In practice, maybe not. We'll find out. So we're going to run this. We're going to hand it one line dice pick. And it did indeed close the thing. Good. Very small change, very simple. 1d20, make sure everything works. And we rolled a 5. Good. Okay, so we should probably make sure it's the same code in both cases, but we should make sure, test everything. Input sides and number of dice separately, and then it closes the amount of dice you need to, it closes the dice that you, the way you pick your dice. That's good. That means less windows on screen. Good. Good design. Good choices. Done. That one's real quick. That one's real simple. That's why I did it. Right then and there. Because it's real quick and it's real simple and I want to get it out of the way. We're flipping the tape. So now we can check that simple one off the list. Super quick. We can say close input choose window. We don't have to do that anymore. Had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. And I swear this is true, and I owe it all to you. Oh, I love music. Anyway, we're going to keep GitHub in the loop, because you got to do that kind of thing, in case people are trying to collaborate with you. We're going to say window management. Just some small changes to the show correct input handler to keep things clean. So there aren't 3 whole windows on screen all the darn time. And like in theory, I should probably lock up the branch I'm working on just in case someone decides to try and grief my code, but it's fine. My actual working code is, locked up nice, so it's whatever. I've had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. And I swear this is true, and I owe it all to you. Anyway, now that we've updated GitHub, how long have we been going? Hour and a half? I got plenty of time. I got a whole 45 minutes left to go for. Control. Anyway, now let's get the complicated stuff. The cross-platform compatibility we're gonna deal with immediately after we implement file-based logs. Let's get to the scrolled bar, shall we? So I'm not 110% sure what we're gonna have to do here. I know that the short version is going to be we put results here, this dude, in something that allows for a scrolled bar, right? Someone's washing laundry because my desk is shaking. Oh, it all to you. So in theory, it should be pretty simple. We just add, thing results goes in to make scrolled bar, and then we change this. Instead of adding results directly, we just add the scrolled bar thing. So that should be a pretty simple change as soon as we find out what we use to implement scroll bars in JavaFX. So I'm going to open a window in Chrome, and we're going to Google it. Actually, instead of doing that, I'm going to open a browser source. Do I have a browser source in this capture? I've had the time of my life, and never felt this way before. I swear this is true. We're going to say browser source, and we're just going to call it Google time. We're going to call it Google. And we're going to make it 1080 by 720. Don't you love when I edit my stream on the fly? http://www.google.com. We're going to say, okay, make it the Google. And it's going to load Google for me. Good job. Oh. Why is that empty like that? That's weird. And then we're going to do that. Oh, that does not look like readable at all. Sorry. Let me fix that here in a sec. So we'll interact, and immediately we're going to get off this blank, weird void of a page. And we're going to say JavaFX scroll bar. You might be my girl, baby. So we're going to go using JavaFX UI controls. Scroll panes. This is exactly what I want. Beautiful. Hi, can I scroll down? Oh, I have to say next page. That's inconvenient. Scroll pane is probably what I want, actually. Can I scroll down, please? I can't scroll down. Okay, so we know it's scroll pane, right? So we know it's scroll pane. That's weird that I can't, like, do the thing correctly. Anyway, so we're going to try adding a scroll pane here. So we're going to say scroll pane scrolled bar is a new scroll pane. We're going to want the JavaFX scroll pane. And then instead of adding results to the H box that everything lives in, we're going to add scrolled bar. And then we're going to say, we're going to put the results in the scrolled bar. So then we're going to say scrolled bar dot get children. Children is essentially what lives in it. Get children. Excuse me? Children. Can you not... Can I not add things to the scrolled bar? Oh, wait, no, I'm dumb. So you don't add it like that, unlike most things, apparently. You say in results is what's in the scrolled bar. Immediately upon initialization. Hopefully it reacts properly. We'll find out. Oh, I did do research on this at some point. So I know we're not going to want the left-right scroll bar ever. So scrolled bar dot what do we want here? Viewport bounds property, actual bounds of viewport, vbar policy property, snap to pixel, snapshot, snapped to, set viewport bounds, set translate XYZ, set vbar policy. So it specifies the policy for showing the vertical scroll bar. We need to turn off the horizontal scroll bar. Set panable? Is that what I want? No. Set... Okay, these are all like on events, which we don't need. Set minimum width. If it's managed, set the layout X and layout Y. Set H value? Oh, that's useful. You can set where the horizontal scroll bar is. The ID of it, we don't need to set that. Set HBAR scroll policy value. That's exactly what we want. So then we're going to say scroll bar policy dot never. Actually, we're going to say as needed. As needed, and we're going to set the vertical bar in the same way. Set v bar policy scroll bar policy dot as needed. So now, as we need a vertical and horizontal scrolled bar, they'll show up. In theory. In practice, we'll find out. And it's time to find out. So we'll open the dice selector. We'll say 1. One line, because that's the one where we made the changes, right? And then we'll roll a bunch of d20s to make sure it's doing the thing. You rolled 15, 5, 8, 9, 2, 3, 8, 20, 3, 1, 18, 9, 2, 14, 7, 6, 9, 18, 9, and 12. Your total is 178. So I'm going to close this window so you guys can see what this is doing. It's not what I want. It's kind of what I want, but it's not what I want. Right? You see, you can at least kind of see what's going on here. There is a bottom scrolled bar. There's a bottom scroll bar when this should take up the whole width of the page. So we need to set some kind of property involving the scrolled bar to make sure it takes up the whole page. So let's look. Let's say scrolled bar dot set the maximum allowable H value for the scroll pane. Set fit to height. Let's say set fit to height true. And scrolled bar dot set fit to width true. And now it should fill the page it's in. Correct? Maybe. We'll find out. Don't run it like that. Gosh dang it. Okay, we'll run it like this. We'll roll 20d20 to make it do the thing. That's not what we want. See, it's still got the horizontal scroll bar here, which is not good. We need the scrolled bar to fill the area it's in. Yes. We're going to try putting what it's in. Yes. We can't say set fit, can we? Set width. Set maximum width. Utility dot results size 2. Okay. Set max height to utility dot results size. Okay, now let's see what happens when we say hungry eyes. Hungry eyes. Spoiler, it didn't work. That's odd. Is there something else in here that's causing a problem? There shouldn't be anything. Hungry eyes. See, what we want this to do is fill the area it's in. And this is what I was worried about. Scroll bar dot set set depth test, set effect, set fit to height, set fit to width, set let's say set max height to utility dot result size. Let's try setting the scrolled bar directly, the max height and max width. In the skies I got hungry eyes. And we'll see what happens. Hungry eyes. Oh, that's even worse. It's smaller. Maybe I have them backwards? I think I might have them backwards. I may have had them backwards, so we'll see what happens. I love the AWS toolkit, but it causes problems like that all the time. So we're going to input on one line. We're going to say 20, D20. And it's going to be the right height, but not the right width. Why? What's wrong? What the heck? Little bit longer. Like y'all can see, it's the right height. Please, please, anyway, you know, it's clear that I'm gonna remove this Google source because it didn't work like I wanted it to. Okay, so stay just a little bit longer. High notes I shouldn't have gone for 500. Anyway, we're gonna look at this scroll pane JavaFX. No, not JScroll pane. Scroll pane JavaFX. We're going to look at the scroll pane, and we're going to see why it's doing this. Do you even really need a horizontal scroll bar? I don't. And that's what we're trying to remove, darling. Just a little bit longer. Please, 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 please. Oh, okay. So, first of all, let's do this a little cleaner. Just a little bit longer. We're going to say scrolled bar dot set content to the results. We could just say hbar policy never and see what we get out of it. Since you're right, we're never going to need them anyway. I just was setting it to as needed. Can't you just like void it or something? Yeah. I was just putting it to as needed in case we ever needed it, and it may be causing more problems than it's worth. So, we're going to see what happens when we just say no, don't use a horizontal scroll bar. We're going to say 20D20. Oh. Okay. Good news. No horizontal scroll bar, but it's half the screen, which is not what we want. Set. So instead of saying just the max width, scrolled. Move it in, please. No. Preferred width to. We're gonna say the preferred width and the minimum width. We're gonna set all the widths and all the heights to what they need to be to make it play nice. So instead of setting max height 3 times, we say preferred height and minimum height. Yes, to make love feel so right. Yes, to make love now. Oh, my apologies. Is my mic out of sync with my has my mic been out of sync with my webcam this whole time? That's a problem. It's an easy problem, but it's a problem. Anyway, we'll see what this does. Does this do the no? Oh, gosh dang it. Open dice again. No, oh no, not that. Open dice. Again, please. I would like to run this. So, 1 line dice. 20 D20. There we get. Look at there. Pretty. Works. Now, whether it was setting the preferred height or the preferred width or the minimum width, we'll find out. Just because I want to clean this up, too. So now that we've gotten it to work, there we go, that's better. It was on your end. Okay. Let's see if just setting the minimum thing is what needed to happen first. So, we'll input on 1 line, 20d20. Okay, setting the minimum width was in fact what we needed. So, now that we know that, again, this is supremely easy to port to the multi-line role handler, provided I've done this right. Yes, it is. Beautiful. So this is a pretty simple port job. We just say scrolled bar. Let's make this as needed since it's the right side. Oh, my tape ran out. What side of the tape were we on? Oh, we weren't on the... Oh no, we've already listened to this tape. Gosh dang. Alright, one more tape. One more tape. That's all we need this evening, hopefully. Come on, get in the tape thing. Thank you. Okay. Babe, you're in chat, probably. Now your chat's laggy again, but you're in chat right now, right? Hopefully. If you're in chat, should I listen to the opera? The opera? Chicago? Or a mixtape? Oop! A mixtape I made. I'll set those over there while you decide. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we were going to port this over to the multi-line role handler. So it's super simple. We just copy the code we need, and then we paste it here. Yeah, because the H is the H box, and the results is the text we need. So now this should work too. We should probably make sure, but you never know. What do I need? I need you to Chicago. Okay. All right. I'm down. It's the band Chicago, not the stage show. But either way, I'm listening to it because that's what you said. We're going to rewind this puppy. How do I speedrun this? I don't know how I speedrun this. But I sure am. Maybe. How you been, Save Pimp? How was PRGE? Or like Portland Retro... Yeah. This is why I don't talk. Portland Retro Gaming Expo. How was that, man? I heard you were out there. Is this done? This is not done. Anyway, we're gonna test if this works. So, stop trying to run it as a SAM local. I want to run it as the whole program. I don't want to just run one handler. Multiple dice. We're going to roll 20 D20, just like how we were testing earlier. Please don't make that sound, Walkman. Roll those dice. And we're good. Look at there. Ain't that fresh? Okay. It's time for Chicago. Oh! I thought it was the musical comeback. Put it away. Fine. It was exceptional. That is a good. Well, if you don't want it because it's not the musical, which one do you want? Do you want the opera or do you want the mixtape? Gonna get some CS. Come back, put it away. Anyway, we now have implemented the scrolled bar like you requested it. Scrolled bar on the result text. Now, we've got... Give me the other options again. So we got Chicago, which you don't want. We got me dropping my cassette case all over the floor. But more importantly, we have a set of selections from a Verdi opera, and we got the mixtape. Let me send you a link to what's on the mixtape. Actually, I'm gonna put it in the fan Discord rather than sending. Well, it's still via Discord. Where's my tape playlist? Aha, there we go. Share playlist. Make public. Why was that not a public playlist already? Oh heck, you guys' anniversary was during then? Congrats, dude. That's awesome. Actually, I'm in an Ozzy Discord. I think someone mentioned you. Anyway, we're gonna put this in the Igloo chat. Here's side A. Not that. Hold up. Where is my playlist link? Give me the playlist link, please. Share playlist. Copy to clipboard. This... Anyway, we're going to put this in the Igloo chat. There's side A. And... make that playlist. I don't know why my tape playlist wasn't public. What the heck, man? Why would I not do that? Share playlist. Copy to clipboard. Side B. You don't need to listen to it right now. You just need to look at what's on the list. Fine, I'll read them for the people who can't click links. Please. I guess. So, we got Take On Me, we got a Big Bad Bosses song, we got a Sky Hill song, we got something by The National, we got a local band called Fairhaven, High Tide Rising, that's the song, the band is Fox. We got a Rush song, we got a ska band, we got the Alphas theme, we got some Oasis, we got the Smallville theme, a song by the band called Stereophonics. You're officially the composer for Peeb's channel? Yo! When the heck did that happen? That's major fresh. We got something by Somos. We got more Rush. We got Bad Sons. What else do we have? We got some big band music. We got Atlas Genius. Danger is My Middle Name. Sleater Kinney. The Blue. You know, everybody's favorite jam. Some more Bad Sons. Tupperware Remix Party. Do the mixtape. Okay, I'll do the mixtape. Let's pick you up. We'll do the mixtape. It does look fresh, because I have good taste. I only put the freshest of tunage upon my tapular devices. Because they are of limited supply. Off they go. Here we go, tunage. Oh, I hate how I dubbed this tape. I need to redo it. Anyway, it's good songs, but it got you addicted to Bad Sons. It's a good band, isn't it? Anyway, what was I saying we were gonna do? Oh, file logging. That won't be too hard, provided I can look at some of my other code. But first, we need to submit this. Please get it in the left headphone. Oh my gosh. The way I recorded this, it only has one headphone sometimes, and it drives me nuts. Anyway, we're going to submit this to GitHub. Scrolled bar. Added a scroll bar as requested by the beta testers. worried about not being able to see all their dice. And that scrolled bar will be supremely useful when we, Todd approached me about it over the summer, but he started using a theme I made for him since his Arthur video, and we made it official hanging out over Sunday. That's awesome, dude. That's really cool. You listen to them exclusively at college, though. They're good, though. Anyway, we're gonna push this to GitHub. We're going to push the scrolled bar to GitHub, that is to say. And the scrolled bar will be supremely useful when we start adding images to this. But I want to start on the images another night because I'm not going to be able to get it done in 15 minutes. The beta testers, I do not just mean you, but you specifically asked for the scroll bar. I also beta tested this on my players because I needed more than one person trying to break my program. You'll be recreating the Glacier character in both the new Wrestle game and Soul Calibur 6. Yes, please. Give me my glowy boy. He's my favorite. He's obnoxious and I love him. Anyway, file-based logging. We're gonna start in on this, and if we don't finish it, that's that. So first of all, in main, before we launch the program, we need to make... Where have I put my... Where have I put my file-based logging code? I know I've done it before. If I scroll down far enough, I will find it. Aha! There we are. So, first of all, I need to fix this later, but we're going to copy and paste this. We're going to copy and paste all this spiel, because it's not exactly what we need, but it will become what we need very quickly. So first of all, instead of saying C and the backslashes, we need to use forward slashes because those are, what's the word I'm looking for? System independent. And then we're going to make a string base drive equals file dot list roots. So we just go to directly to the root drive, is essentially what this means. Is that allowed? Change type of base drive to file. Oh, dang it. List roots 0 dot get path. There we go. That's the string I need. So then, sorry, jam. This is B3, by the way, that's playing. You guys can't hear it, but I can. And one other piece of news, as of tomorrow, I'm putting my two... Yo! That's awesome! I'm glad you're getting out of that one, man. If you're still in the same one that you were in when when we were talking more frequently, that's good that you're getting out of there, man. Hang on, I have something that's... Oh, I can't open that on stream. Hang on. I'd have to open my GitHub to make sure this works. So, let's go do that. Point. Belarus osculus atamilis maximus neuralus singulus ordeneversius nanus nos neritas atramilis maxina tranos tionitas. Oh, jeez, man. I'm glad to hear you getting out of there, because that really was like grinding at you for quite a while there. I don't want to look at the release. I want to look at... Actually, I do want to look at the release code. Show me the code, please. View code. Baggage in store. Shoot it in you. Lower yourself to the door. Hand up it. Left it all on the floor. It's in utils and constants, of course. Okay. How did I do this? I could summon a god. Yeah, get path. There we are. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, this does do a work like I want it to. Okay, so then instead of Glacier Nester logs dice errors dot log. He says that all I need is a friend. She said to never falter again. She said to rain down fire and then you said this happens now and again and again and again. Okay, then we're going to fix the formatting on this, or it's going to drive me nuts. What else? Oh, my friend Lake says you need to start calling me Old Man McGucket because it would be funny. And it was only going to get worse. The new job will be similar in some respects, though in a smaller, more mildly paced environment with better pay. Better pay is always a good thing! So we need to say, what did I say? This utility dot get current timestamp started D&D dice at current time. Go for your soul. Streets abound, made of a deep energy around. Actually, instead of having this just live its life in, mainland, because I want it to be cleaner, we're going to cut this whole spiel. We're going to say utility.set setup file error, and then we're going to go to utility and make a method called setup utility setup file error public static void setup file error. This does exactly what it says on the tin. Just exactly what we just made. We'll document this. Sets the system.err output to a file, so if something goes wrong, user can email me a log and find out why. If something new goes wrong, I should say. Something new goes wrong, i.e. the program crashes, the user can email me and find out why. We should, in theory, set up the system outs. So how is everyone? I'm good. Yes, it was the Dragon Ball Z Kai theme that was just doing the thing. I must admit I really enjoyed Dragon Ball when I watched it with a pal of mine. It was good. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we should probably set the system out to a log file as well. But I don't really use the system out in this program. Tell you what, I'm going to do that anyway, just super quick, because it's the same process. We're going to duplicate this method, and instead of errors, first of all, system.set out, and then instead of dice errors, just say dice log, and dice log, and then set up file out. And then we're going to say setup file error, utility.setup file out. Now that you've gone. Oh. I had like 5% of this cup of tea. It's like a white tea I got in a tea of the month club kind of thing. It was good. It is good. I should get more of it eventually. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we set up file error and set up file out, and then we're gonna put a to-do comment to remind me what to do here. Use system.out for action logs. Whoa. Make sure to use. Okay, and we got about 10 minutes before I should sleep, and the next thing we have in the pile of things to work on is I don't know to say. Turn around and come back to me. What's next is obviously the little to-do comments I've let myself, but mainly next is I'm gonna put this in my notes as well. Is include images. So and including image. Oh, my water bottle's still over there. Oh my gosh. I'm impressed you guys have kept it that long. I should really get over there. I mean, it's right on my way home from work. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, images. Including images is gonna take me quite a while. I'm gonna have to like open up an image editor and crop out all the dice images real nice. And I'm gonna spend next time doing that. We're gonna make the images real nice first, and then we're gonna plop all the images into here. But for now, there's nothing else small we can really work on other than, maybe actually doing this to-do comment. But we got like 8 minutes before I have to sleep, so I'm just going to call it an evening. We're going to push to GitHub and call it good. File logging. Just included the standard file-based logging that I ran into someone from Kyros Discord out there, and he's from our neck of the woods. Oh, really? Small world, isn't it? Isn't that crazy? It's like all 3 of us are from around here. Oh, this is a good song. I've included in a few other projects in case someone manages to find some funky bug that I haven't seen yet. We'll commit, and we'll push. And once this pushes, we're done with GitHub for the evening, and we're actually probably should be done with the stream for the evening because I need to sleep. Okay, close GitHub. Okay, so next time on Dragon Ball Z, lay my head on the hood of your car and take it too far. Sorry, I'm gonna jam to this after stream. Anyway, so next time on Dragon Ball Z, we got these to-dos, right? We have use system.outs. We have I can remove this auto-generated catch block because it's fine. Yeah, just any kind of file not found exception is just gonna go to the stack trace. I don't really want to do anything else fancy with it. To-do file-based logging, we've included that. Yep. Oh wait, no, we haven't. So when we show the user a thing, we're also gonna say sys error. I think that's what that is. Yeah, system error. We'll just print the same thing. We're going to print something that is a little more useful to me, the user. Yeah, have a good night. Yeah, we're going to print the message, and then we're going to say e.get stack trace. e.print stack trace. Then we're just going to have this spit out the stack trace straight up and down, because I don't want to come up with something clever. Okay, good. Actually, we don't even need to do it that way. If we're having them both print stack trace, we can just have them print stack trace after showing the user what's up. Print stack trace. Okay, now we've included our file-based logging. Dang it, I'm a dingus. I have to go open GitHub again. Oh well, I'll do that for the stream. Anyway, that's it for that. That's it. That's all from me, y'all. Next week we'll come back and do some image stuff. But for now, let's see if we can find somebody to raid at this hour of the evening. Looks like someone's playing Asagao. Someone's playing Asagao. Someone's playing Asagao. Y'all know what we have to do. Y'all know. I'm sorry, Matt. You're playing League anyway, and I don't want to watch League. We're watching somebody play Asagao. It's time. I've been summoned. It's time for Asagao. Raid. Kels Dilla. That's who's playing Asagao. What? Raid. Kelsidilla. Okay. So, we're gonna go raid this person playing Asagao, because I has to watch somebody play Asagao. You know how I am. Anyway, this is the Wednesday night variety stream. You guys know what goes down here. If you're into listening to my voice, I read books on Friday nights here on Twitch, and it's called Paper Cuts, and we're gonna get into a new spooky Halloween themed book on Friday. It's gonna be good. And I do original content every Monday on YouTube. It's a first impression series. I like doing it a lot. I play a lot of different games for it, and it's a good time. Anyway, that's the short version of my spiel. Let's go say hello to Kelsidilla, shall we? Have a great week, everybody.